Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the YouTube Editor's Perspective Podcast. Alright, so, back from the land of no power, we have compbros returning.
It was a horrible ordeal.
Nothing funny about it.
Oh, it's hilarious. Who are you kidding?
It was like 10 days of mind rape.
You guys had your fun and laughed at me when I was gone and out of power for like a month, so.
I don't remember that. We weren't around for that.
Yeah, you were. That was
Yeah.
last year.
I don't remember making fun of it.
At all.
You did.
Nope.
You might be confusing us with Alex. Not all black people are the same.
Maybe.
Anyway, so, we have a couple of different little topics lined up today, but first things first, BG and DA have, I guess, a few stories on their experience, I guess I'll call it that. Take it away whenever you guys want.
Okay, this is going to be a couple minutes, because this was awful. So, Saturday night, I get off work. I'm near our corner, and I see a fire truck near the alley with 4 firemen just looking around, just looking at the transformers and everything, just looking and talking. And when I see them, when I go back like 20 minutes later, they're still there. A couple hours later, they're gone. A couple hours later, I'm on the computer. It's around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Might be a little later. All of a sudden, the power goes off, and through my window, I see green light on my neighbor's house. And I'm thinking somebody had set off a firework and it hit a power line or something. And the green light is flashing, and then it's like orange light, but the power is still. So I'm starting to go downstairs, and I see out another window. There is visible electricity and fire moving along the power line. It gets halfway to my neighbor's house before it explodes and burns out. So next day, we find out that a transformer blew up, caught on fire. The pole was...
Oh no, Optimus Prime, no.
Yeah, you just stole my joke, you asshole.
That joke's been made 6 times.
Yeah, this isn't the 5th grade.
Really?
That's when I heard it.
Yeah, same here.
How old are you guys? Jesus Christ. Who thinks this is
I'm
funny?
currently
Anyway,
23.
I actually saw the transformer blowing up from a distance. Me and my brother were walking home. Not him, but our little brother. We were walking home from work, and we were talking, and we just boom, and a loud blew. It was just blew for like 2 seconds, and then it was gone. We were like, some black people must be setting off fireworks, and we just waited for some more. We're like, oh, it's just one. They only could afford one. So we actually saw it, and we came home, nothing. Oh, that's what that was.
So Sunday, it turns out we have a little bit of power around the house, enough to plug in some phones and iPods, keep ourselves occupied, enough to cut on some lights. And that's basically that day. Just Sunday, we're just trying to keep ourselves occupied. DA's whole day was messed up because he that was his one day off.
That was my one day off,
and he was gonna play Tales of Graces for that day. And he was pissed throughout the entire day. Like one of my little brothers, he was like, "Hey, how you doing?" DA was like, "How do you think I'm doing?" He just blew up on him. The kid is like 11. Just blew up on him.
I don't remember
Excellent.
that. I don't remember
Oh,
that.
that's excellent.
So
I fear for, like, your children, like, if you're pissed about something, Daddy, can we go outside? No! Back to your room!
I had been working for like 6 days straight, so I'm like, this is my one day off, so I can just sit here, play my game, maybe do a little bit of editing, do what I want. And then I couldn't do it, so of course I was a little... And then there was nothing, my iPod was dying, and we were losing power steadily. That Sunday, it all just clicked right off.
Yeah, eventually.
Around afternoon, everything, the lights, the little bit of power that we had, everything just clicked right off, and we had nothing. It was charge your iPods and your phones, whatever, now, because it's going off.
Yeah, and then like 6 hours later, some of it started coming back on again. Then Monday, it seemed like we were at full power.
Jeez.
Yeah, we're on Monday, day 3 of this 10 days experience. So Monday, it seems like most of our power is back. We're able to cut on some higher voltage stuff, and yeah, everything seems fine. But our cable line isn't working. So it's Monday night. Cable's still not working, but most of our power seems to be working. We call Comcast, our provider. A lady says, okay, we have an opening for tomorrow, Tuesday morning, between 9 and 10. I'm going to pencil you in for that. Sure. Tuesday comes, it's 11 o'clock, nobody's here. So I call back to see what's up, and the automated voice, whatever, it tells me that our schedule is actually for Thursday at 8 or 9. She hadn't penciled us up for Tuesday. It was Thursday now, apparently. So we wait for Comcast Thursday. This pissed me off to this day. Now I know the guy couldn't have done anything because they needed to do some extensive work to get our crap back, but this pissed me off. So Thursday came. He's here. He goes in the backyard. He's like, "You guys don't have any dogs or anything, right?" He's like, because we have our leash outside in the dog bowls. We're like, "No, she's upstairs." He goes to the alley. There's a small fence with 2 big dogs just running up to the fence. Now, if the dogs wanted to jump the fence and attack people in the alley, they could jump the fence easily, but they're not. They're just territorial. Don't come over this fence. Don't come by here. So this guy, he can't get close to the line. It's literally like 7 feet from him. He can't get close to the line because he's too scared of these dogs. So he's like, hey, let me go around the alley this way to see if I can do something about these dogs. He goes to the owners. They're not home. He tries to ask them to put it up. And he comes back. He's like, yeah, it would be like a 10-minute fix, but I can't get in the alley because I'm too scared of the dog. Now, if I was thinking at that time, I'd be like, look, I'll go in the alley with you. And I'll
distract the dog.
I'll just stand there with you.
I'll throw some bologna at him.
I'll just stand there with you. And if something happens, it's not going to happen. But he was just too scared. He called his supervisor. They rescheduled us for, he told us to call him after noon or after 1 if the dogs were up. So the dogs got put up around 3, and we're calling them back constantly. He doesn't pick up the phone. So we call back to Comcast themselves. We tell them what happened. Lady is like, yeah, if the dogs were a problem, he still should have did his job, blah, 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 blah. So she said, okay, we have an opening Friday. We're going to put you in for Friday. We're going to get somebody out there.
Not afraid of dogs.
Friday comes around, and it's like 1 o'clock, and there's nothing. So we call, and they're like, yeah, nobody ever put in an order for you guys on Friday. But if we have something that opens up, we'll have somebody out there today. If not, it's going to be tomorrow. No openings that Friday, so we had to wait till Saturday. So Saturday the dude comes. I head off to work. Saturday the dude comes. I head back from work. DA is walking to work. He's like, you didn't call the house? I was like, no, I didn't call the house. Oh, so you didn't hear the situation. What situation? Well, apparently our cable line was what was providing us with electricity.
What little electricity that we had.
So when the guy unconnected the cable line to see what the problem was, everything went out.
Our surge protector started sparking and smoking, so I had to hurry up and run and unhook those.
We only lost 1 surge protector. I
risked my life.
Now, these are the 2 luckiest things that happened to us. Apparently we weren't grounded. So with the cable line providing us electricity, if the wind had been strong, it could have hit a power line and our house could have caught on fire. So we're sitting there 4 or 5 days with no incidents with our cable providing us power when it could have caught fire at any time. Yeah. So we call contractors out. They get the place grounded. But when the guy plugs the cable line back in and our power comes back on, we cut everything off. We turn off all the circuit breakers and everything.
Just in case.
So when the contractors come, they look at the cable line and they're like, this guy plugged the cable line into the gas line. So we could have blown up from that if we had used something. So contract.
How do you plug cable into gas?
It's best to not ask these kind of questions.
This smells funky. I guess it goes here.
I don't. So the contractors ground us, and we call Comcast again. We're like, okay, we're grounded. We've got power even if the cable line is unhooked. So we've got power coming to us now without the cable line, but we're still not getting our cable. So Monday, they pencil us in for Monday. So we're sitting around all that Sunday. Still not 100% power because we don't have a full transformer. Monday comes around. He comes up and he's like, I take that back. Sunday, DTE, the electricity people, come out to to give us full power because we're getting power now. And they're looking at our meter and everything, and they're looking around, and they're like, did you guys have a transformer blow up around here? We're like, yeah, it happened like a week ago. And they were like, we thought somebody was coming out to fix it. They're like, no, there was never any type of order to fix this or anything. We could put one in for you, but we can't do anything for your power until they fix that transformer. So they put in that. Monday, we had totally forgotten we had called Comcast because Comcast can't even do anything till the transformer is fixed to get our cable back.
Yeah.
So Comcast comes, but it was between 10 and noon. They come around 11, and the people with the transformer poles come around that time as well. The guy looks in the back and says, yeah, I can't do anything. The transformer isn't up. I'm going to cancel this order. Once it gets up, call back. So this leads into when we got our power back Thursday because we were just sitting around waiting for this transformer stuff to happen. And the transformer still isn't fixed. Let me make that a point. We still don't have completely full power.
Boom.
No, we're
dead.
We're grounded, so we're fine.
Dead.
So yeah, the cable line. The Tuesday, one of the dudes for Comcast is working on our neighbor's house, and we're like, yeah, our cable's out too, and we keep putting in orders, and people keep coming out, and they keep telling us this and that. He's like, yeah, let me see what I can do, and he works on it. He's like, if I work on theirs and they've got cable and you guys don't, that's a serious problem. So it turns out the whole block didn't have cable anyway, and they had to get a completely new line out here. So they rush out, get the new line, and they fix everything, and we come back, and here we are.
We did a lot. At least I did a whole lot of reading.
Yeah, I did a lot of comic reading. I read all of Fear Itself, which is 123 issues of a Marvel event, and it was not worth it. That was crap. They went off tangents so many times, so much side crap that didn't mean crap.
Planet. I read 3 books.
I read that and half of House of M, which I'm loving. Yeah, that's it. On to E3 or whatever.
I was going to say, life lesson for anyone listening to the podcast. Cable companies suck ass.
They suck. Well, I don't know about cable companies. I know Comcast.
They do.
Time Warner is
I have Optimum.
horrible.
I have Optimum. And
seriously, this is everywhere I go. Whatever the company is, they suck. They suck. They suck. Cable companies are good in general. At all.
We could have died.
Neither is Verizon, though.
AT&T, I hear mixed. I hear more positive, which probably whenever I move out on my own, I'm getting AT&T.
AT&T was good.
I only have that. But yeah, since any of you guys were listening to our last episode, which actually I haven't uploaded the 30.5 to YouTube yet, so
but it will.
You guys are going to be getting an episode and a half probably on Friday. So we talked a little bit about E3, talked a lot of the major plot points, but BG and, mostly BG, DA watched, but didn't care.
Didn't care.
Watched it just yesterday. They pretty much found some the
hold on.
recording.
DA, so you didn't care. What about Creed 3?
Oh yeah, of course I cared about that. Everybody should care about that. It's in Napoleon times with the army. I don't care. Why should I care? I don't care. I have never played a second of Assassin's Creed. 1 second.
I thought you said you played it.
No.
DA?
No, I didn't.
No, he never played that.
I've never played it.
DA doesn't play video games, man. What are you talking about?
He plays a lot of JRPGs and such.
No, right.
Proceed, had a major brain fart.
All right, then E3 was useless.
Oh, it was
I've been at work
absolutely
for the past 8 hours, and I'm tired, so fuck you.
I actually listened to you guys, and Pro, you said this was the worst E3 of the past, decade. You are incorrect, my good sir. It wasn't good. It wasn't, anything big and memorable, and, it blew my mind. But there was an E3 about...
What was worse?
There was an E3 2 years ago when the Kinect was first announced, when Sony and Microsoft's entire press conference was about motion controls. And they showed 2 games each, and all Microsoft showed was Black Ops. That was way worse than this one. Because at least we had 2...
They didn't show a single thing about.
What are you talking about? They showed The Last of Us, Beyond, all this good stuff.
Alright.
Microsoft was awful.
Alright.
Sony...
I'll take that back then. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can all agree Microsoft's was not
Microsoft's
good.
was awful. They need to...
I like Microsoft's. The glass thing, it was great.
They need to not have a press conference until they announce their next console. If they don't have... If they don't have the next console next year, if they don't have the console next year, they don't need a press conference.
No, you don't understand. If you were watching
Microsoft's conference, like I said, I listened to the podcast where you said it was 2001 and they were just going through the motions until the next year where they announced all the consoles.
Yeah, basically, what I'm saying is, we already got a glimpse of the next gen capability for a little bit when they were showing off Watch Dogs. They weren't playing that on an Xbox 360. They were playing it on a high-end PC. Now, if you put 2 and 2 together, the fact that they're playing on a high-end PC format during Microsoft's press conference for the Xbox, you put 2 and 2 together, and basically what they were playing on was the Durango. They were playing on a PC set to the 720 settings.
The next Xbox 720. But
yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking. Next year is going to be pretty big. Wii U will be out, and then Wii U will have all the games coming out, the games that people want, because launches usually aren't that stunning. And then stuff about the 720, stuff about whatever PlayStation calls their next PlayStation.
PlayStation 4. Why y'all fully announced? I don't even understand that. The PlayStation is going to get a different name, but it's solidified that the next Xbox is a 720. It's been PlayStation 1, 2, 3. It's going to be 4. What are you talking about?
Hey, they could just go a random route.
But we're solidified 720.
PlayStation W.
No, it hasn't been solidified. It's still codenamed Durango.
Okay. That's the code name that all the developers are using for. Okay, just like how the Wii U was Project Cafe or whatever.
And PS4 is Orbis or whatever.
Yeah, it's Orbis. But right. Basically, we've gotten glimpses of the next gen capabilities. If you've watched the video that I linked to everybody basically on Facebook, the
Final Fantasy thing?
The Unreal Engine 4 demo, that showed incredible promise. Just every tiny detail is just produced so much clearer. The physics are just stunning in that with the new Unreal Engine. So, we're going to be looking at games being made a lot more intricately and a lot more interactively, which is going to be really good. Because, a big thing, I'm not really big on Unreal Engine 3. I didn't really look into it much, but what I saw with Unreal Engine 4 that impressed me was the ability to play your game in real time as you're currently developing it. You can basically, right there in the game editor, switch back and forth between the design mode and the play mode. So you're basically playing it in the render settings in full physics, and you're able to see how this works in game, how this works in game, and then go back in right there on your same screen and edit it if you need to. That looks pretty impressive to me, and that will allow a lot easier transition to fix bugs. So I mean, just Unreal Engine 4, as I'm looking at it, just looks stunning to me. And I mean, I know all we got to see from Square Enix with their new graphics engine. I mean, it's Square Enix. That's just their engine. Nobody else is getting to use this. It looked moderately impressive to me, but the fact, between the two engines that were shown off recently, Unreal Engine 4 impressed me more because they showed more. They showed how he interacted with it, how it works, how the physics work. They explained everything. Meanwhile, Square Enix just gave a trailer that doesn't show much at all. And it shows it makes pretty CG. That's really it.
That's the thing. Like, until I actually see a game running those graphics,
yeah.
To me, that looked like it looked just like a Final Fantasy cutscene.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, because remember when what was it, Killzone 2 or 3 was coming out, and they had that pre-rendered cutscene pretty much that's like, oh, this is in game, and it really wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
So yeah,
but I mean,
I don't.
If you watched the video of the Unreal Engine 4, you watched him playing the game in real time, and the graphics were just stunning. I mean, it looked like a cutscene, but he was playing it. It was real. It was interactive. He was picking things up, moving it, playing, and that wasn't CG. That was actual in-game play. I mean, I was really impressed.
Most definitely. So, what were the big things that, pretty much, you saw, BG, that excited? Comment on.
Let's see. Beyond looked really good, but then I'm a Quantic Dream fan, so.
I mean, I thought it looked awesome too. Just the fact that they got Ellen Page spot on in CG.
The Last of Us, of course, that looked. Oh, I want that game so bad.
That game does look amazing. Is it only coming out for? Oh, it's being made by Sony, so of course.
It's only PS3. It's by Naughty Dogs, and that's an in-house PS3 thing.
Yeah, it was sad. It's the Uncharted people.
Yep.
That I'm definitely giving that a look. See, actually,
that's a first day purchase for me. Like, really, that game.
Then Proceed. I know me and Proceed were talking about a little earlier that I mean, just from the gameplay standpoint. Tomb Raider? I don't think I really mentioned that.
I was going to say Tomb Raider next, because I really want that.
A lot of people right now are actually complaining.
Why?
That Lara Croft is not like how Lara Croft was, but what a lot of people aren't realizing, it's a prequel.
Yeah, they keep
basically
saying he's 21.
People have been complaining. I'm sorry to interrupt you, BG, but I'm just I need to add to what Lone said. It's just basically people have been complaining so much. The game developer has actually given an interview to I forget who it was. I think it was Game Informer or whatever. Basically saying that everybody's complaining about it, but he's like a massive Lara Croft fan and all this, the basic PR jazz. But basically, what he was explaining was, and it actually tied in. If you go back and look at the trail, go back and watch the gameplay demo again, he's basically saying that Lara Croft in the beginning of this game is not how she is in the end of this game. He says, coming to the end of the game, through the progression of the game, you'll see her becoming the Lara Croft that we all know and love. So to just sit tight and just understand that that's what a prequel is. But people are just complaining.
At the end of the game, she gets breast implants.
I don't think that's what happened.
No, I'm just.
That doesn't seem very practical too.
I actually like the way Devil May Cry looks.
Uh-oh.
Are you out of your damn mind?
Uh-oh.
The gameplay looks good.
Uh-oh.
I probably still want...
Your damn mind.
Uh-oh.
How does it not look good?
He's booking a plane ticket to Detroit. He's coming for you. Look at this!
I can't. Between you and Alex, I don't understand. The gameplay doesn't... I mean...
what? It's
a reskin of 3.
That's bad?
Yes!
But you like Creed.
Oh.
I hate you.
I was actually about to throw that argument in your face, BG.
What? No, let me make something perfectly clear. I don't hate Creed. Let me make that clear. The series is bad for me because when I first played one, I loved it, but a month or two after playing it, once I played it again, I was like, this actually isn't as good as I remember. 2 was excellent.
Wait. I thought you were talking about Devil May Cry. I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking about Creed now.
All right, I thought you were talking about Devil May Cry for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, you like 2?
I like 2.
He's joking again. Yeah, Creed 2 was excellent.
Got nothing to add.
But Brotherhood and Revelations was just...
Yes.
They were $60 expansions to me. And it wasn't... So, right now, 3 looks really good. So, 2 out of 5 games of the series...
That's fine, though, because we already know that Brotherhood and Revelations were just filler. And if you didn't have to play them to get the plot.
The problem was, it was unnecessary filler.
But the fact is, the company wanted money. The company got their money. I'm not arguing the business tactics here. I don't care. I understand what they did with these 2 games. I knew it from the moment I saw Brotherhood gameplay at E3 2 years ago. I knew what I was getting myself into, but I didn't care. I just wanted to see the story of Ezio.
That's you. That's you.
Yeah,
I do care. I want when they present a story to me, I want the story A, B, C. If they're doing a trilogy, which it seems like they are, since 3 is the last of it, I want the A, I want the B, I want the C. I don't want the B1, I don't want the B2, I don't want the B3.
Yeah, well, that's
B2, B3, and B4, and all that.
You don't have to play it. There are people like me who actually enjoyed playing 2 enough that they didn't mind playing their $60 expansion. Whatever. If you don't like it, that's fine. If you don't like the fact that they're expansions, big deal. Don't rock on the series because it has $60 expansions.
What I'm saying is
influence your opinion whatsoever.
What I'm saying is a 5-game series has 2 good games. It doesn't make it a good series. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. No, but you're not. You're just.
Wait, have you played Brotherhood and Revelations though?
Who, me?
Yes.
I played through the entire campaign of every Assassin's Creed.
All right. But here's the thing. You played it, right?
Yeah.
You played it.
Yep. I played Dead Space 1 and 2 as well. I didn't like Dead Space 2 that much, but I played it.
I don't like it either.
And I'm probably going to play Dead Space 3, even though it's off.
But the thing is, you can say, oh, I don't like the Dead Space series now because they ruined the second game in the series. Assassin's Creed...
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, okay, before 3 came out, we had 1, 2, Brotherhood, and Revelation. So that was 1 in 4 games that were actually really, really good. The rest were either okay or mediocre.
Assassin's Creed 1 was a good game.
That's an okay game.
No, look, honestly, you can't look at it from today's standpoint.
No, I'm not looking at it from today's standpoint. I said a month after I finished it. I went back and played it again, and it wasn't like I remembered. Maybe that was because I just had finished Prince of Persia. I still play Prince of Persia, and those are great. That doesn't mean anything. Just because a game is old doesn't mean it's any less stunning when you play it.
Assassin's Creed 1 was a game designed when Xbox 360 was new.
Yep.
Back before people really understood how to work the physics of the 360, that game was built very well. It was built very well. Because nobody... the truth is, nobody was expecting Creed to be such a dramatic hit. It wasn't really that funded. It wasn't really that backed. It was just Ubisoft throwing out a title series that, it was just testing the waters. And it obviously did well enough to get a sequel. And 2 is is the gem of the series so far. That's without a doubt. 2 was beautiful. But then the company knew that they needed another gem for the series, and so they took the big team and said, here, take this, build game 3. We're going to have B team here, make two spin-off games just to fill time, to keep people interested. Now, basically, that marketing scheme worked because Brotherhood was all right for being a carbon copy of 2 with just new skin, new map. But the thing is, you also have to give Brotherhood this: it did have the series' biggest map so far. Brotherhood still has the single biggest standalone map in the series,
and it added probably at least for me, one of my favorite multiplayers.
Yes,
I love the Creed multiplayer.
Let me pause you right there though. You said it was in order to keep interest high for Creed or whatever. Hold on. So they make yearly games to keep people interested. Instead of making
it's the Call of Duty.
Instead of 3 years, you sort of combine Brotherhood and Revelation, the main plot points. You take away a lot of the stuff. You do the main plot points and some of the side stuff, whatever. So instead of in 4 years we get 3-4 games, in 3 years we get 2 games. We get the Brotherhood Revelations side thing to keep interest high, and we make 3. At this point, 2 Brotherhood and Revelations.
To be honest, I hear what you're saying, but you need to understand what marketing scheme was really starting to shine through in companies' eyes 3 years ago.
The Call of Duty.
The Call of Duty syndrome. And it works. It's a system that works. It's if you have a good game, but you keep pumping it out, and people will buy it because it's good, as long as it's not terrible, people will eat it up. That's how it goes. That's just
that's my problem with Creed.
Yes,
they're making
you shouldn't target Creed because there are a lot of games like that.
I target all games like this.
But I'm saying you're looking and going about it all wrong. You shouldn't really hate the game series for going off on this and going off on that. It's all not the game series' fault. It's the fact is the parent company who owns these people are telling them make XYZ games before games B and C can come out. Why? Because we want money. It's not the game developer themselves call most of the time.
But Activision for that you can't praise the games though. But the fact is, if they're being forced to pump out these games, you can't say, "Oh yeah, these games are excellent. These are revolutionary, groundbreaking, whatever." These build on to and make everything.
You're going off on a tangent about marketing. Then it's not the game series. That's the marketing. If you can't separate it, maybe you should go back under your rock. Honestly, there's a difference. I'm not trying to be insulting here, but
I hear what you're saying. The marketing is all fine, but
that's how it is. This is business. It's a business. Gaming is a business. If a company can make 10 cents off of you over something stupid, guess what? They're going to. Don't hate the series. Hate people who make it.
So I could like the series because they were forced to pump it out.
You should like the series for the parts of the series you like. If you like 1 and 2, you like 1 and 2. Brotherhood Revelations are side stories. You shouldn't hate the series for side stories. That is so ridiculous. You just said it yourself. 3 looks impressive. 3 looks impressive. You said it.
I could do this the same thing with Mass Effect series.
I agree with you. No, I'm not. Trust me, I go right back on Mass Effect. I liked 1. 2 was a letdown, but I enjoyed it for other reasons other than the fact that it was part of the series. I enjoyed it for just bringing in a little bit different elements. But all in all, I was disappointed in 2. 3 was good until the end, and I just feel like the company blew it. But that's just me.
I was just saying, Brotherhood and Revelations were not needed, and to see that people will continue.
I know, but neither was the last 8 Call of Duties. But the fact is, if the company can make money, they're going to make money. That is just how things work. You shouldn't hate Assassin's Creed, the series, because Ubisoft decided to take.
I started off by saying I don't hate Creed.
But I don't think hate the series. You said those words, Mike. Did he not say those words?
I don't think the series as a whole is good because 40% of the games are good and the other 60 are not. I don't think the series is good.
It's split 50-50. Are you mathematically challenged? It's 50.
Well, no, think about it, dude. There's I can see where And PSP games and stuff like that.
PSP games. I'm talking 5 games.
I don't count handhelds. Those aren't really parts of the series.
Okay, so we're talking 1, 2, Revelations, Brotherhood, 3. That's 5 games. 2 games are good. 40%.
No, well, 3's not out yet. You can't. I'm not going to say it's a good game until I play it.
1 to 4, we're at 25% then.
Well, 1 and 2 were good.
No, 1 was okay, and 2 was great.
Basically, what I'm trying to sum up here is you don't hate 1.
No, I don't hate 1.
So 1 and 2 were standable. I'm leaving it at that. And the other two were what you hated. So basically, you have 50% of the series you like, another 50% you hate.
I can't count that as a good series then.
But the fact is,
like half of it, and I don't like the other half. I can't count.
Here's the math that you're failing at right now. The 50% that you like are the solid part of the series. They are what matters. They are the core plot line. The other 50% are add-ons.
They don't matter. But people continue to praise them. I can go to IGN, I can go to GameSpot, I can go to random forums, and everybody's like, Brotherhood is great. Revelations is great.
That's their opinion. That's their opinion.
And my opinion is I don't like it.
Okay, if you don't like it, you don't have to. But you should ride the series, because when the series itself,
half the series is bad.
1 and 2 of the series, dude. You're not getting this. 1 and 2 of the series. Brotherhood and Revelations, as not numbered titles, are extensions. They're not parts of the solid series. They're not part of the core plot line. They're not. They're not connected. They're separate storylines. They're not part of the main plot line. They're separate.
Deep breaths, everyone. Deep breaths.
Like, I'm calm and collected about this because this is just it's an argument that holds no bearing if you just take 2 steps back and think.
I am thinking.
No, you're not. You're acting very emotional. You're talking very fast. You're very agitated.
These games. They could have cut 80% out of these games and made them DLC, and it would have been no different bearing story-wise.
Right away, you're back into business, marketing. They want money. They got money. Why does it matter?
That's what DLC is for. It's easier to develop DLC and sell that than develop an entire game.
What? The thing is, they actually couldn't. They could, but it would cost too much, more than they'd make from it as a DLC to make DLC. So they figured, you know what? Let's make it.
If they did the stories of Revelation,
company's decision. They decided to put out 2 side stories that nobody had to buy to get the series. This was known from the beginning. There was extensions of Ezio's story when we found out the title of this game was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. It was Assassin's Creed 3. If it's not a numbered part of the title, it's not a direct extension of the storyline.
Look, you need Brotherhood. You need Brotherhood. And you need at least Revelations to finish the story of Ezio.
To finish the story of Ezio, but you don't need to finish the story of Ezio. You don't
then it's part of the main storyline.
No, well, dude. The main storyline is Desmond, dude.
The main storyline is Desmond.
Stuck in Revelation. In two and Brotherhood and Revelations is all needed for Desmond. What are you talking about? He killed somebody.
Oh dear God.
He's stuck in there. What?
You don't have to play these 2 games to grasp the plot line. After you play and beat 2, you're basically, I guarantee, when they start 3, you'll understand where they are in between.
Let's wait for 3 before we get into this.
That's fine. I'm all up for that. But what I'm saying is, your whole argument is you're against people's opinions and the marketing.
You're against my opinion. I'm against
your opinion. I'm not. If you've noticed,
listen.
I've never.
I'm against companies bleeding their consumers. I'm against the Kingdom Hearts series that include 5 minutes from an overall plot in a $40 game. I'm against stuff like that. I'm against Revelations and Brotherhood because they don't do anything much different from 2. Yet they're $60 games and they're not worth the purchase price to me.
I've never argued this point with you. Nobody's ever argued this point with you. Nobody, not once, ever.
Let's do it like this. Let's just put it like this.
I agree with what you just said.
No,
I
put
don't
it like
it
this.
either. But unfortunately, that's business. That's capitalism, my friend. That's how this works. That's how this works.
That doesn't mean anything.
No, it does mean something.
Because other companies don't do this. You can't just justify it by saying, some companies do this, so if they do it, it's okay.
Some don't. But then the thing is, some do, some don't. Some find the medium, some find a gray area. That's capitalism. It's all areas of the spectrum. There's no limits. If you find something that can make you money, you have the choice of how you want to make your money. That's our capitalist system. That's how it is.
Let's just say the $120 side games are worth the purchase price to you, and they're not to me.
I
leave it at that.
Listen to me. I'm going to state this very clearly.
That's what it comes down to, isn't it?
I paid for these games knowing what they were.
That's what I'm saying. The $120 price tag for these two games are worth it to you, and they're not worth it to me.
Yes, and they're worth it to me as I enjoy the story.
There you go. That's it. That's all it takes.
That's it. Why does it upset you if someone praises it, even though it's an extension? It shouldn't bother you. If you don't like it, guess what? That's cool. Nobody, I personally, as a big flagship carrier of this series, have never, ever just dismantled you for ripping on the series. I've just always come at you because of just the way you've been arguing with me about it. It's not the series that's the problem from everything you've said. It's the marketing and the people. And both sides are not the series. That's not the game's fault.
The series is still there, though.
But the series is
there.
Yes, it's there.
That's like saying a movie franchise, like the Saw series. If they were like, we got to put out a Saw every year, I don't care how bad it is, put it out. You can still say, hey, the Saw series is not good. I don't care what the people above said. You could put out a yearly game and make it good.
Were titled Saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They were direct correlating to the story. Direct correlating to
and the last
if it's not numbered, if it's not a numbered part of the series, it's not a directly correlating part of the series. It's not. That's just basic common gaming, novel, movie, entertainment logic, knowledge. If it's not numbered, it's not a direct part of the plot. It's not. So what you've been arguing are extensions.
Uncharted Golden Abyss is not part of the Uncharted series.
Uncharted is a different scenario. Each one of those games. Hold on, I'm trying to think about it. I've only played 1 and 2, and only in sparring I never finished the game. I didn't like the series that much. I didn't like the mechanics of it. I didn't like the physics of it. I'm not a big fan of it. But I mean, from my limited knowledge of the game, I can't really say I'm sure. It's not something I can argue or even talk about because I really don't know much about the series. So I can't even say.
So. Okay, BioShock Infinite. It's not going to be
new series.
No, it's not going to be a direct sequel. No. But it's still part of the BioShock series. It's basically BioShock.
But it's a different series in the BioShock series. There's BioShock, and there's BioShock.
But it's all within the main. Resident Evil. Resident Evil Code Veronica X is part of the main storyline. There are parts with Wesker and Claire and Chris that you need to know for future references.
Each one of those games, basically, again, another series I'm not incredibly fond of, I'm not incredibly aware of. It's basically a bunch of games that are connected through the characters and the world. But a lot of the world is disconnected by the characters. So, I mean, when you're playing these games, it's basically this person's story, that person's story, that person's story, and it's disconjoined that way, and it's put back together in some weird way. The way they put those games back together again is odd. So I mean, again, Resident Evil. It's another thing you can't really argue that same scenario with because it's different. It doesn't follow the whole number series mantra. It doesn't follow it. It goes.
What do you mean? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But again, like I said, I've already said this in the beginning. I'm not a big follower of the series.
Well, yeah. Okay.
From the sounds of it, there are the numbered series, and then there's the offshoots.
But the offshoot Code Veronica X is part of the main series.
But the thing is, if it's not numbered, it's not a direct correlating part of the actual plot line. But then again, Resident Evil doesn't really have a direct plot line. It's jumbled. From what I've played of it, it's jumbled.
Just because, I also got to say this, just because a game series is numbered doesn't mean, it doesn't make it part of the whole, it doesn't make it, because Final Fantasy 7 and 8 are not anywhere, 7 and 10
and 13. Different. No, Resident Evil's a different monster, just like Resident Evil. Each thing is different.
You're saying that if it's not within the numbered context, it's not part of the main story.
I'm talking about a continuous story, like Assassin's Creed.
I gotta go back to Mass Effect then, because 2 was not part of the story really.
No, it was. It was definitely part of it.
No, they completely gave you a different enemy to fight. They gave you a different. They did. Yeah, they did. It wasn't about the Reapers. It wasn't about the Reapers. It was about the Collectors. In part 1, the Reapers are coming.
The Collectors are the Reapers.
No, they work for the Reapers.
The Collectors are a sub.
The Reaper. I'll jump into this because I have it all. I have that all in my head just because I got.
Please do take over.
So, pretty much how the Reapers worked when they would, destroy civilizations every 1,000 years. They would pretty much take a whole bunch of those species and essentially pretty much indoctrinate them, take control of them to preserve them, and then they use those creatures or those species as foot soldiers. So the Collectors were Reapers, because if you notice in Mass Effect 3, you're fighting indoctrinated Turians, indoctrinated Asari, whole shebang. So they are Reapers. They're just pretty much I would call them the advanced foot soldiers, almost like.
I wouldn't call them Reapers. I would say they're being controlled by Reapers. It doesn't necessarily make them Reapers.
No, they are Reapers, and that's explained. They're just fleshy aliens that.
Okay, let's do it like this. If you had never played 2, if you had played 1 and 3, you never played 2. Could you have done without 2?
No.
Why not?
Well, because basically a lot of Shepard's story that is put out there is in 2, but again, it's a little disjoined with 2.
In 2, they basically rebooted the series. They killed off Shepard, they brought him back, and they gave him practically an entirely new team. Which could all die at the end, so those people really didn't matter.
I mean, there are a lot of problems with. All of it could have been fixed had they had done 3 the right way, and I mean 3 was just not done the right way. There is a lot of problems with 3, and that's what really ruins it.
The thing with Mass Effect, which I can't really say is a good example, is just. Well, hold on.
Go ahead.
The thing with Mass Effect, which I think kind of makes it a bad example for this debate, is how many ways the story can go. I mean, you could have everyone survive, you could have everybody die, including Shepard. 2 could be the last game of the series, because Shepard could die. So, I mean, there's so many different possibilities of endings in that game, where it's just kind of ugh.
Okay, can I go back to BioShock then?
Yeah, sure.
2 was not really related to 1. Even though it was within the same... within the same world, within the same structure, but it wasn't related to 1 at all, even though it was a numbered sequel.
I'm thinking too, well, for the most part, just because since it was set in more of the same scenery, or wow, why can't I think of that stupid word? A place where a story, the name of a place where a story takes
setting.
Place. Thank you. Same setting, and then how just pretty much with Infinite, it's completely different. You go from underwater into the sky.
Yeah, but they still could have just called it BioShock 3. It wouldn't have made much of a difference anyway. Because 2 doesn't relate to the story of 1.
And that I could see that. But I'd say an example how you're talking about Final Fantasy. When there is a direct sequel to a Final Fantasy, it's whatever that Final Fantasy 2.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But those aren't within the main plot. Or whatever it is.
I was going to say Final Fantasy really has no main plot, though.
Let me retract that.
The
story, there's a series overall, and it spans 4 games across 3 right now. You can't say it doesn't.
The thing is, though, I think what these I mean, yeah, it has, like, coming from my perspective on Assassin's Creed and your guys' argument. The main thing, too, I think, with these new games that came out was, like how I stated before, the introduction of multiplayer.
Yeah.
You got a whole bunch, you got pretty much almost all the same resources for the single player, but then you add a whole nother dimension to this series with multiplayer. And it's pretty, at least for the type of game it is, multiplayer is pretty robust.
Yeah, I played it.
As I say, you probably played the multiplayer.
Yes, I have.
So, I mean, you got half the team devoted to the single player, but then half the team devoted to multiplayer, and then they advanced it from Brotherhood to Revelations. So you kind of have to have that in mind. Pretty much these two games, they push the story of Ezio, but they also introduce a whole new mechanic to this game series that is going to be added to 3 as well. That's how I think about it, because, like, I mean, you have, like, this, you know... I like the stories like Proceed did. I enjoyed them. The continuing of Ezio, plus some of the stuff with Desmond, yeah, blah, 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 blah. But then you pretty much, I think the purchase price, a good chunk of that is in the new content for the multiplayer. Plus they added their own, like, almost dashboard achievement-y type stuff with Uplay.
I never liked Uplay.
I mean, it's a shoehorn off of Xbox Live, but it's added stuff that they created, though. And I had some cool linkage stuff with some... Proceed. Do you remember the Facebook game?
Yeah. Lineage. No.
Lineage.
I
forget what it was called. They stopped it, though, which was stupid, because it was actually good.
I loved it.
Yeah. But, like, pretty much you get a certain amount of points, you get a certain amount of things in this game, Uplay links it up to your Assassin's Creed games, which was cool. So, I mean, to me, the purchase price was in all the added stuff.
Project Legacy.
There you go. Besides the campaign.
Then
that's how I see it.
I don't see how people can rip Call of Duty, because isn't that the same thing? It all goes towards the new stuff in the multiplayer, the revamp.
The thing
But
is, they don't really.
Here's the funny thing: it doesn't. That's the joke. There is none.
Okay. The Brotherhood multiplayer and then the Revelation multiplayer, they added some new weapons, basically, right? And maybe a game mode or two. Isn't that what Call of Duty does?
Yeah, sort of. I'd say, though...
I'm just saying, it's...
I know, Call of Duty, though, just...
It's all within a series. This is an argument I had with somebody over the Naruto anime, where he said we're not counting any fillers, but the fillers are part of the anime. You gotta count it.
I don't.
Let's just move past it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I actually, because now I'm thinking about it, I actually went back and listened to your guys' original debate on this topic, a couple, about 10 or so episodes ago. And this one was actually a lot better. I feel like we've broken some ground. We have some understanding. But anything that actually took up a large chunk of time. We'll probably do our editing thing next time. But anything else from E3, BG?
Crap, I don't even remember what I talked about anymore. I don't care about Super Mario Bros. Wii U. I do like the way Paper Mario looks because I'm into RPGs.
Mm-hmm. See, the game I'm hoping they announce at next E3 for the Wii U, which I think would work perfect for it, a Metroid Prime.
Yeah, they're definitely going to.
Especially
that
with how
Arkham City looked really good with the Wii U controller. Let me just say that. Especially
like with Metroid Prime, with all the scanning and stuff like that. Yep. Use the freaking screen for it. That would be fucking amazing. But, I mean, for people that... I don't enjoy Pikmin, but for people that enjoy Pikmin, that was, a good announcement.
Not to mention the basically alluding to a new Smash Bros.
Yeah, well, I mean, they already announced it. That's just... Because, like, Reggie Fils-Aimé or whatever went on to Spike afterwards, and pretty much he just said, like, we announced it last year, so we didn't, like... Until we have some substantial information on it, we're not going to talk about it again.
Okay.
But
the PlayStation's All-Star Battle Royale.
I don't know what to make of it right now.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You could
It looks like Brawl.
They make no qualms about it being like Brawl. They're like, yeah, we know what it looks like. We don't care. We're gonna do our game. It's not a carbon copy of Brawl, but it's a lot like Brawl.
I was gonna say it's more or less like you need to get the damage up to get the super.
That's what it's about. It's about super for the kills. Injustice: Gods Among Us. I'm gonna love that game.
That wasn't really announced at all.
I'm going on the side stuff too. I watched all of E3 today. There was the what was it called? Nino Kuni or something like that from the Princess Mononoke people. Their game. Huh? It looked pretty good.
The animation studio?
Yeah, the animation
Ghibli.
Studio. Yeah, they did the animation and stuff for this.
Interesting.
It's
You'll have to send me that once this is over. I want to take a look at that.
It's not turn based. It's like it's like a circle, like a Kingdom Hearts where there's a invisible barrier for it.
Also, like a Tails almost?
It's like a Tails.
Okay.
Mainly fight with like monsters or something.
Alright.
What else was there?
Actually, just going back to All Stars real quick. Just from, like, any characters you would want to see in it.
Let me say this right now. If they include Dart or Rose from Legend of Dragoon, I will purchase this game. Like, straight up, I will purchase this game.
See, the one character I really want right now, just for the shits and gigs, because he would be so overpowered, is Sephiroth. I want to be able to hit people halfway across the screen with my sword.
What's with the Big Daddy?
That to me actually proves good for third-party content.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the Big Daddy is an in-house product.
Yeah.
It's not an in-house character, but they're using it in this in-house game. So
yeah, I'm wondering if Snake is actually going to be in it, considering it's in Brawl.
You never know.
Yeah, they'll throw old Snake in there.
Snake's on Xbox, Snake's on Nintendo, Snake's on Sony.
Okay, so yeah, The Last of Us, Watch Dogs. What was the other one? Sleeping Dogs looked okay. Let me just say this. I didn't care about any first-person shooter except Borderlands 2. Everything else, I was just like, I don't.
Borderlands 2, I'm excited about.
Like, even when I saw Far Cry 3 with the full frontal.
Yeah.
That was just like, we were like, whoa, all right.
I didn't care about
Welcome to this conference.
Welcome to Boobisoft. Oh, and I wanted to talk about that. What is with the lead people in the Ubisoft panels? For the past 2 years, they've been stupid. Last year was like the bro of bros.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
And then this year it was the black chick who was talking about girl boners half the time.
Aisha Taylor. She is actually a big nerd, but she didn't translate well.
Like, oh man, I think I got about 5 girl boners there. Just like, why? You don't have to be hip. And you don't have to bring in rappers.
Yes, you do. You always.
Hey, wait. Did you just call Usher a rapper?
No, the guy they brought in for the Ubisoft panel.
Flow Rider.
Oh, Flow Rider. Oh, wait, no. Who was Usher again?
Microsoft.
Microsoft?
The dance game, Dance Central or whatever.
Just Dance 4, whatever it is now.
Yeah.
But, what was I thinking? Just like, I feel like they're going off of Nintendo last year with the freaking... You know, they had the full orchestra for Zelda's 25th. That was cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I guess they're just like, we gotta make this hip.
They're capitalizing on a song that everybody is using since WrestleMania. Like, since WrestleMania, they used that song as their official theme song. You hear it in commercials, you hear it in movie trailers, movie commercials or whatever. And they're just capitalizing on it. Oh, we got Flow Rider and everybody loves this song. Come on. Get hyped for our crap.
But yeah, I can't really think of
too. And EA sucks. Let's put it. EA is garbage.
Yeah, Dead Space was the only thing that remotely I
didn't like it.
The aspect of it being on a planet is kind of
That's
a bright planet at that.
That's fine with me. It's so bright.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
It was so bright.
Like co-op interests me because I mean that would be kind of fun.
Did you hear the reason they're adding co-op?
Why?
Because quote unquote the single player was too scary for one person. The single player of Dead Space 1 and 2 was too scary. So they brought in a co-op person to alleviate some of that.
That could be marketing.
Oh, it clearly is. It's a completely stupid. That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. Why would they even release a statement like that? Oh, yeah. Didn't even talk about Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, actually, they didn't. Wait, isn't that coming out in 13, though?
What?
2013, though?
Oh, it's coming out September, October this year.
Oh. I kind of swore I saw it too.
It was original.
I just pushed it up. Saw an article about
I'm really surprised that they didn't do that.
About things they did not talk about.
I said post that in there. I'll try to. I have not been diligent in the link dump these past couple episodes.
No, you have not.
I need to go back and just like. I think it'll probably be like come August when I'm like I don't have class anymore. I'll just like literally sit through all the podcasts. Just listening to ourselves, just like, okay, we talked about that. I'm so sick of hearing Ralph's voice.
Does Biggie have to laugh all the time?
Tsubasa. But, anyways. Yeah, next episode, we're going to be talking a little bit more about editing stuff. We have 2 topics I think we're going to talk about that actually we haven't really talked about, and they're actually pretty pertinent, which we haven't actually really had in a little while. I think pretty soon too we're also going to be starting to rehash some topics, getting back because I mean we probably have a lot of new listeners that haven't gone.
Hold on, bearing that we're talking about E3 and everything, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo have pulled out of TGS,
Tokyo Game Show,
and Gamescom.
Interesting.
They have pulled out completely. They don't want to have anything to do with it.
That's interesting.
Any reason why?
No, they're not saying. They're just saying they're just not going to be a part of it.
What was with that complete rip of the Wii U controller from Microsoft? Yeah, it's different, but still, it's a rip.
Hold on. I just found the article, and I want to talk about this.
I swear, if
10 conspicuously absent... Well, these are PlayStation games, but anyway. Games that are left out from PlayStation.
Last Guardian. That's what it was. I know that's...
bring out in general.
I know that's number 1.
So they didn't talk about Grand Theft Auto 5. Surprisingly.
Yeah, a lot of... My roommate was pissed about that.
They didn't talk about Black Ops Declassified for the Vita.
Whatever.
They didn't talk about Dragon's Crown.
Whatever.
They didn't talk about Versus 13.
That's interesting, actually.
That game, apparently, it's all but canceled. That's what the rumor mill is saying.
Really?
Infamous 3 is rumored to even exist, but they were expecting it there. Killzone 4 is rumored, but again, not knowing if it exists.
I don't think that exists.
Square Enix, though.
Killzone for the Vita, and then the new Ratchet and Clank game. The Last Guardian also was not shown at E3.
That's what I said. Last Guardian, number 1.
Warriors Lair for the Vita. Kingdom Hearts 3 was not shown.
Apparently, the reason the Last Guardian wasn't shown was due to lack of motion controls. I don't know if that's true or not.
The thing is, though, at least for the Final Fantasy stuff, Square Enix likes to announce their stuff at Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah.
So for Final Fantasy stuff, I'd wait for that.
There's not going to be anything there. No system.
Well, no. That's just the main party developers, though.
Yeah.
Like
I'm saying,
third party guy. That's all third party Japan stuff. That's Capcom, Square Enix.
True. Very true.
Yada, Namco. But there's a lot of stuff that were left out. But
the Last Guardian, I wanted to see it so bad because I want that game.
I'm curious. I need to go back. I need to get the Eco and
Shadows of the Colossus.
What's this HD pack? Because I've never played Eco, and I know it's a good game. I've heard nothing but praise on it.
I had never played it either. I played it recently, last week. I loved it.
I was gonna say I love Shadow.
I literally thought it was just like a grab the girl and help her up stuff, and there was like no combat or whatever. It was just basically get from point A to point B, a puzzler basically. But it was actually really good.
Follow me, hide, follow me,
follow me. There's a lot of that. Come here! Oh, Jesus Christ! You're gonna hear it so much.
Oh, all right. Okay, so I think we'll end it there. Actually, I like this episode. It's made some good talking stuff.
For them.
Yeah, you barely said it.
Well, there's a DA. This is a mainstream gaming podcast. You weren't gonna have much to say.
episode.
I was just about to say, me and Lone need to get into an argument about something. I hate Skyward Sword.
You never.
It's more like Skyward Board. I've never played it.
I know. So you cannot diss that game. You've not played it. I know you've not. But yeah, we'll definitely have some Editing Central topics next week. So DA, you'll be able to talk. And
Maybe.
maybe. All right. And we'll also go, I think, more into discussion about possibly, because these two have seen the monster video. I think I was talking about. We talked
Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We'll have another episode with us critiquing videos, and that has to be part of it.
Yes, we will. All right. So thanks for tuning in again, guys. We will see you next week.
If we have power.
If they have power. All right. Later, guys.
Yo, YOLO.